Purple runes splayed across a cracked leather cover he suspected had been fashioned from human skin. The ancient symbols writhed before his eyes, slithering and bending like serpents. Long accustomed to the dark book's power, he concentrated until the runes settled into a familiar pattern. So much had happened since the day he had found the Minthexian Codex in the dank chambers hidden deep beneath the monastery. Before that, he had been nothing more than a fugitive, a once proud hierarch of the Horned Society, whose power was shattered the night Eus and his host of fiendish servitors breached the Society's citadel and scattered its leaders to the corners of Oerth. The memories of those years, spent living like an animal, an object of scorn and derision to all he met, still ate at the cleric. But power does call to power, and it was such a call that led Durgoth to the ruins of this monastery, where, in its crumbling stone and rotten timber, he had unearthed the book and discovered a god of truly awesome power. Other, weaker men called the Codex by its common name, the Book of Nine Shadows. But he knew that the roots of its true strength went beyond the darkness to the heart of nothingness itself. Long were the months that he wrestled with the secrets contained within the Minthexian Codex, until he had finally pierced its veil of mystery. Harnessing the power of its ancient rituals, the cleric built a place of refuge, a sanctuary from the predations of the Old One and his pet demons. In time, others came to the monastery's desecrated grounds, drawn by the power he had unearthed and the dark dreams of a god. Now, after the long tread of years, he was about to set in motion a plan that would shake the foundations of the multiverse. Not for the first time he wondered if the screams of the gods would be more satisfying than the tormented cries of the mortals who worshipped them. Such idle speculation would have to wait, he realized, as the sweet song of the crucified seer's pain surrounded him with its intoxicating melody. It was almost time. Placing the stones carefully to seal the Codex's hiding place, the cleric bowed once, palms pressed together, and uttered the words to a prayer he had learned from his studies of the Dark Book. A blue glow circled round the area of the wall before him, and then faded away. Satisfied that his mystic protections would hold, the cleric snubbed out the last thick bar of burning incense on the makeshift altar he had created for his private meditations, and gathered his heavy black robes about him. With a sigh of anticipation, he turned to leave the room, only to find his way blocked by a shadowy figure.
"It has begun, my lord,"
the figure intoned in a raspy voice. Durgoth cursed silently as he recognized the familiar tones of Jagrin Sin. Hoping that the room's dim light covered his startled reaction, he spoke harshly into the darkness. "Jagrin, I left strict instructions that I not be disturbed until my meditations were complete."
"Yes, Blessed One,"
the man replied. The words were simple, almost uninflected, like most of the speech that came from this man. They neither betrayed guilt nor asked forgiveness, and like the speaker itself, they offered the cleric no key to unlock its secrets. Of all the people who had found their way to the dark monastery, Jagrin Sin stood apart. The others stayed for reasons Durgoth easily understood. They lusted for power, they craved the Dark One's touch, and some, the cleric admitted, were simply mad, consumed by their own dark demons. Jagrin, however, was different. Though his skills and sharp mind quickly distinguished him as a man of true usefulness, the monk's motives remained a mystery, and Durgoth hated mysteries. For what he could not understand, he could not control, and what he could not control, he feared. As if sensing the dark cleric's thoughts, Jagrin stepped out of the shadows. Flickering candlelight washed over his pockmarked face, revealing a thick nose and full mouth.
"The god has come, Blessed One,"
the monk said.
Even now the seer speaks words of prophecy.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.